So we're going to start in standing, and we're going to start with just a little bit of a bounce, our lymphatic bouncing. So we're going to step our feet to a nice, wide, comfortable position so that they feel like your feet are really solid on the ground. And then we're just going to start to invite a little bouncing into the body. To keep it small and light to start, just to make sure that you're really instantly tuning into your body. So if you get to a light, tiny bounce and you're like, oh, it's a little bit too much energy for me, then you're going to know where your practice is at this morning. But if things are starting to feel good, maybe invite a little bit more invigoration into your bounce. And we want to let the fatty tissue, the skin, the muscles get loose and jiggly on the bones. And bouncing can be really good for the lymphatic system. And then if it feels really good and you're feeling like you're in love with this movement, you're going to start to shift from side to side, pick up one leg and then pick up the other. We're shaking out to the limbs, shaking out to the fingers. Your breath might get up a little bit, your energy might get up a little bit, and your heart rate might come up just a little bit. But we want to make sure we pay attention and we only move at a pace that feels good and safe in our body. Nice. And then take just a couple more little gentle bounces here. And then when you're ready, let everything come back to a stillness. Let your arms hang nice and heavy. And then we're going to go for that dragon tail situation again. So we're going to imagine that we have a big fat dragon tail coming off of our tailbone. So let your knees get soft. Let your big fat dragon tail drape down towards the ground. Knees soft, shoulders soft, arms soft and heavy. And then once you feel like you've found that soft heaviness of your tailbone, see if you can close your eyes down or just soften your gaze and then tune into your breath. And then notice here is if you moved your attention away from that fat, heavy tail, if you started to clench up your butt, you want to let go of your glutes or let your butt muscles relax best you can. So tailbone is heavy, knees are soft, thighs are soft and heavy, arms are soft and heavy. And then once you feel like you've got a nice soft heaviness, shoulders are going to get nice and anchored down towards the ground. Take a moment here in this nice soft stillness to set an intention to honor your mind and your body throughout your practice. Never doing anything in your practice that would cause your body pain, and treating yourself with love, care, and respect. Wonderful. With that intention set, now we're going to push firm down into the feet and lift energetically upward through the front of the body, and then bring one hand to the belly, one hand to the heart. And as you find your hand to belly, hand to heart, just take it right into our rock the baby sway. If you need to readjust your feet so that you're swaying at a nice even pace and it feels comfortable, adjust your feet. But then once you've got your feet adjusted, find a nice fluid motion that you don't even have to think about, just bending one knee and then the other. Eyes can close back down if that feels good. And as you start to sway here, if you can, with hands on heart and hands on belly, just notice the physical action of your breath. There's a lot more action going on here. So in this less still position, can you tune in and notice the physical action of breath in your body? Lovely. Take one more sway side to side. And then when you're ready, come back to center. Let your hands relax down at your sides. Inhale, lift your chin gently up towards the sky. Exhale and tuck your chin down towards your chest. Inhale and lift your chin upward towards the sky. Exhale, tuck your chin down. Inhale and lift your chin up. Exhale, tuck your chin down. And now from here, we're going to inhale, lift the chin up, and arms are going to float up as well, just to shoulder height. And then exhale, tuck your chin down and let your arms float down at your sides. So rather than this being a pendulum where we let the arms drop, it's a controlled motion. Inhale, arms are going to float up to shoulder height, lift your chin. Exhale, float your hands down alongside your thighs, tuck your chin down. Beautiful. Inhale, arms lift up, chin lifts up. Exhale, arms float down, chin tucks down. Do that one more time. Inhale, arms float up, chin lifts up. Exhale, arms float down, chin tucks down. And then we're going to find a neutral position. Left hand's going to stay against the thigh. Right hand's going to reach up and take a nice big generous side bend, just as far as you can go, knowing we haven't warmed up the side body, but just get that nice big long reach, and then right away release, take it over to the other side. Right hand touches down, left hand reaches up, take as big of a side bend as you can find, and then release. Lift up. Both hands are going to swim behind the back. We're going to interlace the fingers. We're going to draw the knuckles down and then release. Draw the knuckles down and then release. Draw the knuckles down, stay there, and then draw the arms slightly away from the back of the body, and then draw the arms back in, but keep the knuckles down. Draw the arms slightly away from the back of the body. Bring the knuckles back. Draw the arms slightly away from the back of the body. Bring it back, and this time we're going to draw the arms slightly away from the back of the body, open through the front of your chest and your collarbones. Gently lift your chin just a little bit, not full range of motion, but just a little bit where you feel maybe a little sensation right around the collarbones in the front of the neck. Take one more moment. And then when you're ready, release your chin, release your arms, take a couple of shrugs or rolls of your shoulders, just kind of give everything a little loosey-goosey shimmy shake. And then we're going to start to find our way down into a folded position that will finally make our way to a tabletop. So position yourself on your mat in a way that you will find your way into your tabletop that you like to be positioned in. Once you've found your standing position, inhale, lift your chin up towards the sky. We're going to exhale, bend your knees, tuck your chin down towards your chest, roll your way down. Imagine you're peeling your back away from the wall, nice and strong in the legs, coming all the way down. And then once your fingertips float down towards the ground, walk them forward so you find your tabletop position. Beautiful. And then once you found your tabletop position, we're going to focus right on the hands. So look down at your hands, spread your fingers nice and wide, press into your palms, broaden your shoulders, then relax your shoulders and lift your fingers and lean back a little bit so your weight is just in the heels of your hands. And then we're going to lean forward, press into the palms, spread the fingers, broaden the shoulders. Beautiful. Lighten up the elbows, pull back into the heels of the hands, even lift your fingers and give them a little wiggle. Come forward, press into the fingers, broaden the shoulders. Beautiful. And then find a neutral position here. So belly nice and firm, broaden the shoulders, gaze down between the thumbs. And we're just going to lift just the thumbs. So both thumbs are going to lift and tap. Let the thumbs come to stillness. We're going to take it to the index fingers. Both index fingers are going to lift and tap. Beautiful. Let the index fingers come to stillness. Both middle fingers are going to lift and tap. Middle fingers come to stillness, take it into the ring fingers. This is where it gets real challenging. Ring fingers are going to lift and tap. Nice. Ring fingers come to stillness, take it into the pinkies, lift the pinkies and tap. Beautiful. And then find your strong tabletop position again. Broaden your shoulders, pull the abdominal muscles up, gaze down between your thumbs. In this nice strong position, just take a nice big conscious breath. Awesome. And then we're going to move right into puppy pose from here. So we're going to walk our hands towards the top edge of your mat. Keep your hips in line with your knees. Let your chest and your forehead melt down, and then just let everything soften for a minute. Take one more breath here. And then when you're ready, slowly bring it back up to your tabletop position. From our tabletop position, we're going to keep a sort of idea of a planking spine, and then we're going to come down elbows and forearms back up to your tall tabletop position. And we're going to alternate the arm that leads us coming down and coming up. So go right elbow and forearm down, left elbow and forearm are going to come to meet. Right hand is going to plant and lift up, press your way back up to your tabletop. And now we're going to lead with the left hand. Left elbow and forearm down, right hand comes down to meet, but keep your body nice and strong. Left hand lifts you up, back up to your tabletop position, but we keep that nice long spine. Right elbow and forearm down, left hand comes down to meet, right hand pushes you back up, come back up nice and strong. Beautiful. Left elbow and forearm down, right hand comes down to meet, left hand pushes you back up, strong tabletop. One more time through each side. Right elbow and forearm down, left comes down to meet, right pushes you back up. Beautiful. Left hand leads you down, right hand meets, left hand pushes you back up, come back up nice and strong, move right into your cat and cow. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale, round your back, round your shoulders, tuck chin to chest. Inhale to drop your belly. Exhale to round your back, and then just keep that going. Find a pace and a depth of work that feels good to you. Take 2 more cycles of breath. And then when you feel ready, find a neutral position with the spine. We're going to slide the right leg back with the toes curled under, and we're going to take a few rocks forward and back, just gently pressing into the heel, creating a little length in the back of the leg. Lovely. The next time you push back into that heel, stay there, take an extra cycle of breath, breathing in and breathing out. And then when you feel ready, slide that leg in. We'll switch over to the other side. Left leg is going to slide back, toes curled under, rock yourself forward and back. Nice. And then the next time you push back into that heel, stay there for an extra cycle of breath. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, slide that leg in. We're moving right to extended child's pose. Big toes together, knees as wide as you like them to be. Pull your butt back towards your heels, and then just create a little space for yourself here. Let everything find a little space. Belly, chest, forehead, let everything soften down. And then once you're here, really get into it. Just settle in, relax your butt, relax your hips, relax your knees. And if you're tuning into the body, think of this as like a really baby precursor to our frog position. So if you're checking in here and you're noticing your hips are super cranky, your back is feeling a little bit mischievous this morning, anything going on, you'll want to just make sure that you pay attention. And then when you get to your frog pose, you'll only go to a depth that feels safe and comfortable to you. Keeping the bottom half of the body with that extended child's pose position, but now we're going to bring a little action into the arms. So wiggle your fingers, lengthen your arms out just a little bit further, and then let your elbows touch the ground. And we're going to go 3 times prayer hands behind the head. So we're going to gather the prayer hands behind the head, a little gentle tug to the tricep muscles in the back of the arm, and then gently release your hands back down, press your palms into the earth. Release your palms, pull the prayer hands together behind the back of the head. Release the hands from behind your head, press your palms into the ground. Do that one more time. Release your palms, pull them back to the back of the head, prayer hands together. Release your palms forward, and then once you press your palms into the ground, we're going to get like a cat-cow, but we're going to stay nice and long. So we're going to round through the upper back body, and then let the chest soften towards the earth. Push into your palms, round through the upper back body, feel your abdominal muscles pull up a little bit, and then relax your chest back down. Do that one more time. Pull the abdominal muscles up, round through the upper back body, relax your chest back down, and then soften just a little bit. We're going to walk over to the left. So we're going to walk our hands over and off to the left. Let your right hand stack on top of the left. Let your elbows get nice and heavy. Soften your forehead down. Take one more breath. Come through center, but we're taking it right across over to the other side. So over to the right, stack your left hand on top of the right. Let your elbows sink down, let your forehead sink down. Beautiful. When you're ready, come back through center. Now we're going to keep our bottom half of the body just as it is, but we're going to lift up just slightly to create a little space. Now we're going to thread the right hand through. We're going to keep straight neutral spine. Right hand's going to thread across like we're doing that. Thread the needle or arm coming across the chest, and then soften your heart down. Beautiful. One more breath. And then lift up just slightly so you can slide that hand out, and we're going to switch to the other side. Left hand's going to slide through and across. Keep that neutral spine nice and long and straight. Soften your heart down. Nice. One more breath. And then when you're ready, lift up just a little bit so you can slide that hand out. And now we're going to float our butt up away from our heels. Swing your feet out. So knees are going to stay wide, toes are going to come out to meet. Left hand's going to walk underneath the nose. Right hand's going to reach up for a nice big twist. Look up towards that hand, look up towards the sky, and then see if you can take that right hand and tuck it behind you under in that left hip crease. So we're going to tuck that hand over to the left, draw that right shoulder up, look up towards the ceiling, take a nice big breath. Beautiful. And then release that hand, swim it around and down underneath your nose. Right hand under the nose, left hand reaches up nice and high. And then see if it feels good to tuck that left hand into the right hip crease, draw the left shoulder up and back, look up towards the sky. Nice. And then when you're ready, release that hand, swim it around and down. Both hands are going to step out nice and wide. We're going to take one nice big wide down dog, and then we're going to float down onto our belly. So lift your hips up nice and high, press into your heels, let your heart drop towards your thighs. And then when you're ready, we're going to lift the heels, lower the knees, walk your knees back in through your tabletop position. And then we're going to come down gently onto the belly. So you come down onto your belly in any way that works good for you. Take a second to just get nice and settled in, situated. Fix your clothes up, fix your hair, wiggle out your butt. And then we're going to take our body into that kind of crocodile position. So legs slightly wide, hands are stacked, elbows nice and wide so that you can rest your forehead on your stacked hands. And then once you've got yourself set up here, it's going to be a big shake of the butt. So we're just going to wag the tail and let the whole body kind of shimmy with this wag. So we want to get that loosening up. We want to loosen the hips. We want to loosen the backs of the thighs. We want to loosen the spine. This can be really nice for the central nervous system. It can be soothing and calming. So you want to find a nice gentle rhythm. Make sure nothing hurts. You want to make sure your knees feel comfortable, your feet feel comfortable, but we want to really let it go, let it shake it out. Relax your head, notice your breath. We're going to stay here just a little longer than we normally do. Take about 3 more cycles of breath. Awesome. And then when you're ready, just let everything come to a stillness for a moment. No need to lift your head, no need to do anything. Just reduce all efforting, soften the back of your body. Cool. And then from here, we're going to bend the knees, and you might choose to walk them in just a little bit closer so that your knees are about in line with the hips. And now we're going to stay just on the right side to start. So we're going to do super slow motion. You know how usually we do the windshield wipers of the heels, but we're windshielding only to the right. So we're going to drop over to the right and then slow motion, bring it back to center. Drop it over to the right, slow motion back to center. So as slow as you can make this movement go, dropping the feet just over to the right. And then once you've got that motion pattern down, you know what you're doing, let your head rest again on your forehead, or let your forehead rest on your hands. Take one more time just to the right. And then when you're ready, we're going to take it over to the left. Same idea, slow motion. We're just letting the feet drop to the left and then come back to center, but we're just sticking to that left side this time. Notice if one side feels different than the other. Take one more time through on this side. And then we're going to extend both toes nice and long. And now we're going to take it into half locust. So we're going to lift up just a little bit. You can keep your hands tucked under your head, or if your hip points are really bony and they kind of get poked into the ground, you'll tuck them under those hip points. And then maybe your chin or your forehead will rest on the ground. That's totally up to you. But once you've got yourself set up, we're just going to give our heels a nice gentle shake. We want to encourage a little soft looseness in the glutes and in where the thigh bone connects to the hip. So that's where we want to create that little sense of letting go and softness. And then once you feel like you've kind of got some looseness and softness going on, now we're going to reach through the right toes. Right toes are going to pull nice and long to the end of your mat. Pull those toes so far away from you that the leg starts to lift, lengthen and lift just as far as feels good to you. Pull the toes away from you, lengthen as you lower the leg down. And then if you could see behind you, that leg just grew like 2 inches, just so you know. Shake your heels out just a little bit. And then when you're ready, we're going to find that looseness again, but now we're taking it over to the left side. So we want to encourage that letting go in the left thigh and the glute. And then once you feel like you've kind of got a little soft sense there, pull the left toes away from you. Pull them so far away from you that the leg lengthens and lifts up. And then pull the toes away from you as you lower your leg down. Beautiful. And then once that toe touches down, give both heels a shake. We're going to come back to the right leg and we're going to go just a little bit swifter pace. So pull those right toes away from you, lengthen and lift up. Pull the toes away from you, lengthen and lower back down. Right over to the left leg. Pull the toes away from you, lengthen and lift up. Pull the toes away from you, lengthen and lower down. We're going to go one more time through each side. Pull the right toes away from you, lengthen and lift up. Beautiful. Pull the toes away from you, lengthen as you lower down. Back over to the left. This is the last one here. Pull the toes away from you, lengthen as you lift up. Nice. Pull the toes away from you, lengthen and lower down. And then once both feet are on the ground, release your fingertips from under your hip points. Come back to that crocodile position with the arms. Bend your knees. And now we're going big swish of the heels side to side. Lovely. One more swish of the heels side to side. And then when you're ready, float your toes back down to the ground. We're going to go into 3 low cobras here. So we're going to lift our arms up so that they're alongside the shoulders, elbows soft in at the ribs. Inhale, lift up to that low cobra position. Exhale and lower down. Inhale, lift up to cobra. Exhale to lower down. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale to lower down, push your way up to a tabletop position and all the way back to child's pose. So big toes together, knees together, butt back towards your heels. And then if it feels good, you're going to slide your hands back, let your hands touch the soles of your feet, and then offer up just a little bit of a rounding through the back of your body if that feels good. Soften through the back of your neck. Feel that slight bit of compression of your belly against your thighs. Notice the breath through the back of your body. Take one more breath. Nice. And then when you're ready, slowly and mindfully bring yourself back up to a tabletop position. Walk your knees back out so that they're in line with the hips. Curl the toes under. On an exhale, take it all the way up to downward facing dog, and then just gently start to pedal out the legs, bending one knee and pressing into the opposite heel. You can move the hips, you can move the shoulders, you can shake out your head a little bit. Any movement here that might feel good. Take one more pedal of each leg, and then when you're ready, we're going to walk it up to the front end of our mat. We're going to walk into a nice soft ragdoll fold. So walk your feet forward or come up to the front of your mat in a way that works good for you. Make a lot of space for your belly and your chest. Bend your knees a lot. Hang on to your elbows if that feels good, and then just let everything dangle here. Let your head hang nice and heavy. Take one more breath. If you're holding onto your elbows, go ahead and release them to the ground. And we're going to go into 3 half forward folds. So as you inhale, you're going to lengthen and lift through the spine, make that nice 7 shape with the body. And then exhale, bend your knees and soften back down. Inhale to that half forward fold. Hands glide up to the shins, lengthen through your spine. Beautiful. Exhale and soften back down. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften all the way down, and this time bend your knees a lot. Pull your abdominal muscles in, gently roll your way up, and take your time, slow as you can as you come up. And then once you come up, just give everything a second. Get your clothes situated, get your mind situated. And then once you feel like you're there, we're gonna go into a little bit of balance. So if you know you like stepping off your mat or you like a little wall or a chair nearby, just position yourself just so. And we're gonna take and pick up one leg. We're just going to keep it in a nice bent knee position, and I'll hold on to my wall just so I don't wobble all around. So we're going to keep our leg in that upright bent knee position, and we're going to swing the heel out and then swing the heel in. Swing the heel out, swing the heel in. So that's all we're doing. We're just finding that nice upright position with the spine. Hang on to a wall if that makes you feel more stable. But what we want to do is as we swing that heel out, we want to feel the side of our glutes kick on. So if it helps you find it, place your hand on the side of your butt. And as you rotate that heel out, see if you can feel that action happening in the side of your glutes. So it's more about the work than about the balance right now. So if a handhold is helping support you, that's the way to go. Wonderful. One more swing in and out with that foot. And then when you're ready, set it down, take a second, give your butt a little wiggle jiggle, and we're going to take it right over to the other side. Find your handhold if that feels like a way to go. Lift your leg up. And now we're swinging the heel out, bringing it back in. So it's not a big turn. We're not trying to crank the knee across the body. We're just trying to lift the heel out to the side. And then if it helps you find it, place your hand on the side of the glute so you can feel that muscle action happening. Beautiful. One more in and out on the side. And then when you're ready, set that leg down, take a second, just kind of give your hips a little Elvis asana, shake it out, and then find your mountain pose at the top of your mat. Toes and knees pointing fairly forward, anchor down into your feet, reach up through the crown of your head. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees, hinge from your waist, fold down to the ground. Slow motion if you can find it. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften all the way down. Bend your knees a lot. We're going to slow motion roll the way up. So bend your knees, pull the abdominal muscles in as slow as you can. Roll your way all the way up. Roll the shoulders around, down and back. Now we're going to come back to a balance. So position yourself just so, but now we're going to take it into a tree position. So transfer your weight onto your left foot. Rotate the right knee out, and you might choose to stay there with the big toe on the ground. That might feel like a really nice supported tree. But if it feels good, you're just going to slide the foot up to the calf, see how that feels. If that feels great and you just want that extra challenge, you can float that foot up to the inner thigh. Any variation within, and you always have an option to change once you're in the pose, so don't feel like you're locked into any decision making. And then whatever handhold feels good to you, you might choose to keep your hand on the wall. You might choose prayer hands. You might choose nice tall tree arms, anything that feels really expressive to you right now. Take one more moment. And then when you're ready, whichever variation you're with, go ahead and release that leg. Take a second, shake it all out. And we're going to go right to the other side. So transfer your weight. Maybe you choose to keep the big toe on the ground. Maybe you choose to bring the foot up to the calf, or maybe you like to bring it up. Once you've got your stance that you like, find that expression of your arms that works good for you. And then when you feel ready, slowly and mindfully release. Step everything off, give everything a good wiggle and a shake. And now we're going to get back into our flow. So if you want to come back up to the front end of your mat, find your mountain pose, anchor down into your feet, reach up through the crown of your head, and then just pause for a moment. Sometimes just practicing balance can either grip us up and make us feel really tense, like we want to hold on to something, or if we approach it with that sense of lightheartedness, it's just like, oh my gosh, I was all over the place, wasn't I? So just notice for a second how you were feeling in your balance and how that makes you feel now standing still. Lovely. And then when you're ready, eyes open, inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. We're going to step the right leg back, warrior one. Drop the back heel, turn the toes out, hips stay facing forward. Lift your torso up. Arms extend up, and then we're going to sink just into that front thigh just a little bit. So sink a little bit deep into that front thigh, and then lift your heart, lift your gaze. One more breath. Now we're going to straighten the front leg as we swim the hands behind the back. Can you bring your prayer hands behind your back, or just catch hold of your elbows? So that is another option there. So whatever handhold is a good position for you and your shoulders and that upper part of the body. And then once you feel like you're there, we're going to hinge from the waist, lean forward, and we're just going halfway. So think about reaching long through the crown of your head. Stay nice and strong in your legs. Beautiful. And then reach through the crown of your head, lift back up nice and slow and controlled. As we release the back of the hands, we're going to bend that front knee, float through your warrior one. And then we're going to float the hands down as we pivot that back heel. So we're going to float through our runner's lunge. Beautiful. Plant your palms, step back to a plank. Bring your knees down. Rotate the eyes of your elbows, hug the elbows into the sides of your ribs, lower with control onto your belly. One cobra here, just as high as you like. Inhale, lift your heart up. Exhale to lower down. Either push your way up to table or power up to a plank, and then find your way up to down dog. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to a nice soft fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold, keep that length in your spine, bend your knees, push into your feet, inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center, hands down at your side. Pause in your mountain pose again. Feel your feet nice and anchored into the earth. Feel that nice upward lifting sensation through the crown of your head. Notice your breath. Notice where your mind is at here in this strong pose. And then when you're ready, eyes open, inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale, bend your knees and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, left leg back, warrior one. We drop the back heel, we turn the toes out, keep the hips facing forward, lift the torso up, arms reach up and overhead, and then we're going to sink into that front thigh. Beautiful. Now from here, we're going to straighten that front leg, swim the hands behind the back, prayer hands, or grab your elbows, or whatever other handhold works good for you there. And then hinge from your waist, lean your heart forward, strong legs here, strong back, strong legs. Beautiful. Strong legs lift through the crown of your head. As you float your way up, we're going to bend that front knee, release your hands, float through your warrior one. Beautiful. And then float those hands down, pivot your back heel, come to runner's lunge. Nice. Plant your palms, step back to plank. From here, bring your knees down, rotate the eyes of your elbows, lower nice and strong and controlled down onto your belly. Inhale up to cobra just as high as you like. Exhale to lower down. Either power up to a plank or take it through table, and then find your way up to down dog. Take one more breath. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to a soft fold at the top of your mat. Inhale to half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine. Bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center. We're going to interlace the fingers, flip the palms, press them forward. Glide the shoulders down. And then instead of pressing the palms up and overhead, we're going to drop them down in front of the hips. Let a little bit of weight press down into the palms. Keep your shoulders down and grounded. And then from here, drop your left ear over to your left shoulder. Keep the palms as they are, lift your head through center, and then drop your right ear over to your right shoulder. Nice. Lift your head back to center, unlace your fingers, give your fingers a little wiggle, give your wrists a little shake, and then let your hands come back down at your sides. Find your nice intentional mountain pose again. Anchor down into your feet, reach energetically up through the crown of your head. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, right leg back, warrior one. Drop the back heel, turn the toes out. Inhale, lift the arms up. Straighten the front leg as you float the hands behind your back. Prayer hands or grab the elbows. Keep that nice strong position, hinge from your waist. Lean your heart forward just to that halfway point. Strong legs, strong back, lift back up. Release your palms, bend your front knee, float your arms through that warrior one. From here, we're going to open up warrior two. So we're going to pivot the hips, rotate out to the side. Arms are going to open out to shoulder height. Look to that left hand and take a nice big breath. Beautiful. Now we're going to cartwheel the hands down to the ground. Cartwheel the hands, pivot your back foot, find your runner's lunge, plant your palms, step back to plank. Right away, bring the knees down, rotate the eyes of your elbows, hug your elbows into your ribs, lower with control. Inhale up to cobra, and then stay in your cobra position. So how high you feel comfortable with, what you can hold. And then we're going to take 3 turns of the head side to side. Beautiful. And then once you've completed your 3 turns of the head, gently lower yourself down, find your way up to down dog. You can take it through a plank, through a table, or just take it right up to your down dog, totally up to you. Look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to forward fold at the top of your mat. Bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, gently roll your way up nice and slow. Roll your shoulders around, down and back. Lovely. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Left leg back, warrior one. Drop the back heel, turn the toes out, hips stay facing forward. Awesome. When you're ready, straighten that front leg, float the hands behind the back, prayer hands together, grab the elbows. Once you've got your hand holds, keep that strong back hinge from your waist, lean forward to that halfway point. Wonderful. Strong legs, strong back. Lift yourself on up, bend your front knee, release your hands, float through that warrior one, and then we open up into warrior two. Let your hips rotate out to the side, arms release to shoulder height. Look past your right hand nice and strong and take a nice big breath. Wonderful. When you're ready, cartwheel your hands down to the ground, pivot your back heel so we come through runner's lunge, plant your palms, step back to plank. Bring the knees down, rotate the eyes of your elbows, lower with control onto your belly. Inhale up to cobra as high as you can control, then stay in that high position. Turn your head 3 times side to side. Once you've completed those head turns, either take it up to down dog or gently release, come through plank, come through table, and any way that you like to get to your down dog, take a second to find your way there. When you're ready, look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands, come to a soft fold at the top of your mat, bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, slowly roll your way up. Roll your shoulders around, down and back. Just for a moment here, step your feet slightly wider than hip width distance apart and come back to that rock the baby sway. Bend one knee and then the other. One more little rock of the baby sway side to side. And then just for a second, as you come back to center, just look behind you and make sure that you understand where the space is behind you and that you have a clear space. Once you know where your space is, we're going to walk backwards with intention. So we're going to walk with intention through the bottoms of the feet. So land toe, ball, heel. I would rather you go super slow and pay attention to the strike of your foot on the ground. And then once you've hit that tail end of your mat, we're going to tuck the chin down to the chest, peel your way all the way down. Hands are going to find the ground. We're going to walk out to a plank. The feet are going to walk up to meet the hands. So you're going to bring your feet to walk up to the front end of your mat. Once you found your way up to the front end of your mat, bend your knees a lot, pull the abdominal muscles in, roll your way on up, walking backwards again with intention. Strike through the bottom of the foot. So land toe, ball, heel. If you can, it's without looking at your feet as you find that work, and then tuck your chin down. Roll your way down. We're walking out to a plank. Once you found that plank position, your feet are going to walk up to meet your hands. Beautiful. And then once you found your way to the top of the mat, gently roll your way up. Lovely. We're going to do that one more time. Walking backwards. With intention, we strike through the bottom of the foot. Beautiful. And then once you've found your way to the back end of your mat, tuck your chin down, roll your way down, walk your way out to a plank. Once you found that plank position, walk your feet up to meet your hands. Bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, roll on up to standing position. Nice. Roll your shoulders down and back. Inhale, arms up and look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, right leg back, warrior one. Drop the back heel, turn the toes out, lift your torso up, arms extend up. Straighten the front leg, float the hands behind the back, prayer hands or grab the elbows. Keep your hips nice and squared, hinge your heart forward. Awesome, strong legs, strong back, lift up, release your hands, bend your front knee, float through your warrior one. Open up to warrior two. Take it into peaceful warrior. Drop the back hand, reach the front hand up, look to that left hand. Cartwheel the hands down to the ground, pivot your back heel so we come to runner's lunge. In our runner's lunge, we're going to take 3 dips of that back knee. So knee is going to touch down to the ground, lift it back up, knee dips down to the ground, pick it back up one more time. Knee dips down, pick it back up, plant your palms, step back to plank, knees come down, rotate the eyes of your elbows, lower with control. Inhale up to cobra just as high as you like. Exhale right up to down dog if you can find it. Right leg up nice and high into 3-legged dog. Bend the knee, let the hip roll open. Take one big breath. And then step that foot through to the top of the mat or step it up as far as it goes and help it along the rest of the way. Beautiful. When you're ready, step that left foot up to meet, come to forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine. Bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center. Hands down at your sides. Inhale, arms up, look up. Exhale and fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale to soften down, left leg back, warrior one. Drop the back heel, toes turn out, hips stay facing forward. Inhale, arms up. Wonderful. When you're ready, straighten that front leg, hands swim behind the back, prayer hands or grab the elbows. Hinge from your waist, lean your heart forward. Strong legs, strong back, lift up. Bend the front knee, float through your warrior one. Open up into warrior two. Take it to peaceful warrior. Drop the back hand, reach the front hand up. Beautiful. Cartwheel the hands down to the ground. Pivot your back foot. Plant your palms. Step back to plank. Knees come down. Rotate the eyes of your elbows. Lower nice and strong and controlled. Inhale up to cobra. Exhale up to down dog. Left leg's going to come up into 3-legged dog. Bend the knee. Let the hip roll open. Step that foot through to the top of your mat. Step the right foot up to meet. Inhale, half forward fold. Keep that length in your spine. Bend your knees, push into your feet. Inhale, arms up. Hands to heart center, interlace the fingers, press the palms straight down in front of the thighs. Drop your left ear over to your left shoulder. Keep your hands as they are. Lift your head through center, drop your right ear over to your right shoulder. Lift your head back to center, release your fingers, give them a little mush, a little wiggle, give your wrists a nice little shake. Roll the shoulders down and back, find your mountain pose again. Nice intentional mountain pose. Root down into your feet, reach up through the crown of your head. Lighten up through the tops of the thighs, but we're not pushing the kneecaps back, so we don't want to lock the knees in. We just want to lift the thighs upward. Head lifts upward, shoulders soften down. Inhale, arms up, hands meet, chest lifts as you look up. Exhale to fold. Inhale to half forward fold. Exhale to soften down. Step both feet back to a tabletop position. Now, from your tabletop position, since I'm long ways on my mat and I like my knees to slide off the side of my mat, I'm going to stay in this position for my frog. But if you like a cushioned position, now you're just going to take a little time to turn yourself sideways on your mat. So you're going to get yourself set up so that you can come into the frog that works good for you, so your knees are happy about that situation. Start by just walking your knees and your feet towards the outer edges of your mat. From that position, we're going to take a couple of rocks of the butt back and forward. Or forward and back. Beautiful. One more rock forward and back. We're going to keep those knees at that width just to start. And then we're going to come down. Right elbow and forearm, left elbow and forearm. Right hand's going to lift you up. Left hand's going to lift you up. Left elbow and forearm. Right elbow and forearm. Left hand lifts you up. Right hand comes up to meet. Nice. And now we're going to see if we can step our knees just slightly wider. So you're going to walk your knees out just a little bit. Maybe it's not your full frog yet. Right elbow and forearm down. Left elbow and forearm down. Right hand picks you up. Left hand comes up to meet. Left elbow and forearm down. Right elbow and forearm down. Left hand picks you up. Come back up to that tall position. Can you let your knees come out just a little bit wider, or go to your edge, to the end of your frog position that you like, where you feel like you're really putting a nice positive stress on the inner thigh and groin, but no stress on the knees. So we want to make sure our knees are happy about the position. Once you're there, right elbow and forearm down, left elbow and forearm down, right hand picks you up, left hand comes up to meet, left elbow and forearm down, right elbow and forearm down, left hand picks you up, come up nice and tall. And then ask yourself, do you prefer the tall position, or do you like the elbows and forearms down? And then once you have a position you like best, we're just going to settle into this shape for about 5 to 10 cycles of breath. So you're going to, the variation of breath count is just how fast you choose to breathe. Take a second to just kind of tune in and notice, are you clenching your jaw or picking up tension in your cheeks or the space between your eyes? Where can you soften? Where can you relax into this position, knowing you won't be here forever? Take one more breath. And then slowly and mindfully start to bring yourself back up and in. Gently walk your knees in, coming all the way back up to a tabletop position. Then we're going to go into a little bit of a cow face prep pose. So we're going to extend the right leg out straight from the hip. Take your left toes, swing them over to the right. Tuck your right knee behind your left. Pull your butt back towards your heels. Bring your shoulders back in line with the wrist. We're going to stick with that leg, but as you pull your butt back to your heels, turn your head to the right. Come back up. Rotate your head the other way. As you pull your butt back to your heels, turn your head to the left. Come right back up. And then when you're ready, we're just going to wag the tail a little bit side to side. Might be a slightly limited range of motion. Just make sure it feels safe to your hips and your knees. Beautiful. One more little wag of the tail side to side. And then when you're ready, we're going to unwind the legs and set up for the other side. Left leg is going to extend straight out from the hip. Right toes swing over to the left. Left knee tucks behind the right knee. So knees are stacked, toes point in opposite directions. Once you're there, pull your butt back towards your heels. Bring your shoulders back in line with your wrists. As you pull your butt back to your heels, turn your head to the left. Come back up, head rotates to center. As you pull your butt back to your heels, head turns to the right. Come back up, head rotates to center. And then as you come up, just give your tail a little wag. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, unwind your legs, take it into a tabletop position. We're going to scrape the peanut butter jar. So we're going to drop the belly, Pull the ribs over to one side, circle them around, make it as big and as wide of a circle as your ribs and your spine allow. And then when you're ready, the next time the belly drops down, we're going to circle in the other direction. Nice. And then when you're ready, as your belly comes back to center, either swing your toes out to one side or crisscross your ankles, sit back on your butt, send your legs out in front of you. We're going to take a reverse plank before we find our way down to the ground. If you find reverse plank is just a little much on the shoulders, you always have the option for a reverse table with a little bit of a lighter lift. But if it feels comfortable, maybe you check it out and see if you get there and you're like, oh, no thanks. You choose the variation that you like best. Legs nice and long, hands down alongside you, fingertips preferably pointing toward your butt, but you might have to readjust your hands so that it's comfortable for your wrists and your shoulders. We're going to push gently into the palms. Just start by finding a nice tall spine. See how your shoulders and your wrists feel here. Point your toes. Keep that energy reaching down to your toes and keep reaching through your toes as you gently lift and float your hips up away from the ground. Squeeze your butt, lift your heart. And then when you're ready, with control, gently release everything down. Soften your toes, wriggle out your wrists, wriggle everything out. And then when you're ready, we're going to come down onto our back. So scoot your butt forward, curl your tailbone under, and just find your way down softly onto the ground. Once you found your way down, just give it a second. Let your spinal column just chill out for a second. Your abdominal muscles chill out for a second. Let your legs relax. Take a couple nice gentle breaths. Once you feel like your spinal column has kind of chilled out, we're going to go right into a reclined butterfly position. So soles of the feet together, knees out to the left and to the right. We're just going to let the knees just drop to their edge. Take a moment to notice, and then right away, pull the knees in towards each other. Big toes together, knees together. Push your knees actively in towards each other and hold that strong position. Knees are actively pushing in. We're going to hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, relax that muscle contraction, step your feet to about hip width distance apart into our halfway bridge. Exhale, lift your hips away from the floor. Backs of the ribs are anchored. Shoulder heads are going to anchor down. Squeeze your glutes, reach your knees towards your toes. Nice, strong, steady position here. Notice your breath. Take one more moment. And then nice and slow and controlled, release your hips back down to the ground. Pull your right knee up into your chest. Give that knee a nice gentle circle, circle in one direction. Circle the other way. We're going to take that knee, swing it out nice and wide. So we're going to swing it out towards the right shoulder, open the hip up just a little bit, and then pass it right over and across. Pass it to the left hand, bring it towards your left shoulder, just slightly across the midline of the body. Bring it back to center, set that foot down. We're switching right over to the other side. Left knee is going to come in, draw that knee in circle, circle in one direction. Circle your knee the other way. Swing that left knee out nice and wide towards the left shoulder, open the hip up just a little bit, and then right away, pass it across to the right hand towards the right shoulder. Bring it right back to center, set that foot down. We're going to pull the right knee into the chest, and this time left leg is going to slide nice and long, moving right towards supine twist. Once your left leg is down towards the ground, take that right knee over and across the body. Right arm opens out nice and wide, head turns to the right if that feels good. Keeping that twisted position with the body, but just the right hand is now going to reach up alongside your right ear. So we're just going to reach like the right hand is reaching up above your head. So just stretch up and overhead through that right arm, still keeping that spinal twist with the body. Take one more big breath. And then release your right arm, pull the right knee back into your chest, bring the left knee into meet, both knees hug into the chest. And then hang onto your left knee, let the right leg go nice and long. Take that left knee over and across the body, supine twist to the other side. Left arm opens out nice and wide. Keep that twist of the body, but left hand is going to extend, reaching up alongside your left ear or reaching up above your head. Awesome. And then when you're ready, release your left hand, pull the left knee into your chest, bring the right knee into meet. Both knees are going to hug into the chest, and then we're going to take it right into legs up the wall. Float your feet upward towards the ceiling. Keep a nice soft bend in the knees. Let your hips get nice and heavy for a moment. Let your belly find a soft position just for a moment. Let your arms find a soft position for a moment. And then we're going to do a little walk on the ceiling. So we're just going to bend one knee and then the other, pushing our feet upward towards the sky. Slow, gentle movement here. Doesn't need to be anything extreme. Keep this gentle movement going, but as you start to think about that coming down from the space, where would you like to finish your practice? Where would you like to take your Shavasana? One more pedal of each foot up towards the ceiling, and then when you feel ready, slowly, gently, mindfully float your feet back down to the ground. Notice your legs for a moment. They might feel nice and energized, and they might feel a little bit warm. And then maybe you come into constructive rest, maybe a reclined cobbler's pose, or maybe a more traditional shape, or any other shape of the body that lets you find a stillness that makes sense to you. You always have the option to stay in your Shavasana just as long as you like. But if you feel ready to do so, take the time to bring your awareness back into your physical body. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, gently move back into your limbs. Invite a deeper breath into your body. And if it feels really great to do so, take it into a big good morning stretch, like a yawn. Stretch up and overhead, reach through your fingers, reach through your toes, create a bunch of space and length through your body. And then in your own way and at your own pace, find your way up to a comfortable seated position. Sukhasana, if Sukhasana feels nice. And we're going to finish with 3 humming breaths. So any position that just lets you stack your hands on your heart, if that is a nice way to get some feedback. Awesome. And then as you come up to that comfortable seated position, just make sure everything feels good. We're going to stack our hands on top of the heart. Close your eyes down or just soften your gaze. And we'll finish with 3 nice humming breaths. So as you inhale, just take a nice generous breath, fill your lungs up. And as you exhale, just let out a low humming sound. Inhale through your nose. Exhale through your nose, but let out a hum. One more cycle of breath, inhaling through the nose. Exhale through the nose, but let out a hum. Once you've completed that last humming breath, bow your head to your heart. Breathing in love and gratitude for yourself, for your mind, for your body, and for all of your hard work. And I send my love and gratitude out to you. Thank you for sharing your morning with me. When you feel ready, gently lift up through the top of your head, gently open your eyes. I bow to you. Happy Thursday. You guys are